Welcome everyone, this is Valharik, and today I'm going to be viewing War of Omens. So War of Omens is a free-to-play deck builder card game. I got it off of Steam, but it is cross-platform and you can link your accounts, so that's nice. You can play when you're on your computer, play when you're on your phone, whatever you link. I'll look quickly at the settings. There aren't a lot. Volume, display is literally just high, low, best. You may get a promo code, you can submit that there. Here's where you link your accounts, credit support, others, not much there. So a little bit about the game. This one we've got 4 different kind of factions, and each of them plays very differently, which is something I like. So you got the, before I get into that, I'll talk a little bit about deck builder games, because not everybody, especially PC players, have played a lot of deck builders. If you are into board game, card game scene, you probably have. Games like Dominion is the biggest one probably. And so it's not like a collectible card game so much like Magic the Gathering, where you're accumulating cards, build a deck, and then you play with that deck. A deck builder, you expand your deck during the game. So you start out with a fairly basic set of cards. In War of Omens, it's actually just coins, but then you have a set of cards on the side that you can then buy, and that changes throughout the game. Once you buy them, those cards are added into your deck, and you can use them from then on. And the cards that are available, you pick beforehand. So each faction, you'll be able to pick 10 different cards and actually up to 10 different coins, although they're high rarity stuff. So I've only been playing free to play for a week. I have found 2 different coins, one of which I don't really use. So I have just the basic coins to generate money, but they are there, and they're not game changing, but we can take a look at them. So game modes, you've got single player, that's just you play a match against AI. Campaign mode, where there's predetermined enemies and start conditions. Right now the only campaign that's available is for this Vespitole faction, and you do use just your normal deck, so the campaign will get easier the more you play, or at least you'll have more options. Multiplayer, that's just playing against another opponent. Tournament, that's your random draft type of tournament. And in this one it's kind of interesting because each of these factions have completely different cards in completely different ways. Their decks are built and intended to work. So for instance, the Vespitoles, they're all around cycling cards. Every one of their cards, when you play it, you draw another card. So they have lots of cheap stuff, and they can play 10 cards in one turn because they're just cycling through. And whereas the Darameks, they're very creature based, sacrificing their creatures for stronger effects from either another creature or another card. The Metris, they are kind of your rogue type of faction. They have, most of their cards are one use. Some of them will have a chance to go back in your deck when they're either used or destroyed, but most of their cards, you play them and they're gone. You have to rebuy them, but their cards are fairly cheap. And they also have other cards that a lot of the effects of their cards are going to be steal a card from the opponent, that kind of stuff. They're very annoying to play, but pretty good. And then the Endazu, they have very powerful cards, but their cards start out weak. So one of the main mechanics for Endazu is you'll buy a card, and then rather than play it, you can have it sit in your hand, which takes up space, so you're not drawing as many new cards out of your deck, coins, less to buy, but then every turn that card is in your hand, it's getting stronger. So they're probably my favorite and very interesting to play. Let me talk a little bit about the store. So free to play, you don't want to play games that are real pay to win if you're free to play. This one I mostly play single player, so it doesn't really matter too much to me, but the way the store works, I could see being annoying for some people. So you'll get these kind of coins, and to begin with, all you can buy with them are common packs, these oak packs. When you open a pack, you get a choice of one of 3 cards of the same rarity. The rarity is randomly determined. These cheap oak packs, it's mostly common cards, but in theory you could get anything. And the first time you select a card, it unlocks that card for you. And you notice down here, there's an upgrade progress meter. So every future time you pick that card, it works towards upgrading it. And there's 3 levels. So there's the base level when you buy it, a kind of second advanced level, and then third. Unfortunately, the cards don't really change much. The only thing that changes when you bring them up a level is the coin cost. And I could see that being an issue for people that want to play competitively. If you're playing single player, it's just great. It's nice to have things get cheaper. And like I said, I've been playing for a little over a week, and at this point I have every common card unlocked. 11 of them I've got fully upgraded, so I don't think it's going to take real long to get most of the cards. Now, I don't have a ton of the other rarities. I've got quite a few uncommon, a few scarce, a small number of rare, and I think I have a couple epic, because you do occasionally win free packs of these higher ones that, silver don't have any common cards. Gold packs don't have any common or uncommon, and gem packs don't even have scarce. So, but one thing I could see people being annoyed by is you have to fully upgrade every common card in the game, which is going to take quite a while to be able to buy silver packs. You can get free ones by doing quests, which are, you play the game, you're going to complete the quests pretty easily. And then it's the same thing with gold packs. You have to max all your scarces, which is blue, to unlock the ability to buy gold packs. You can notice also you can get these if you make purchases with real money. So any purchase is going to unlock the ability to buy silver packs. I haven't made one, obviously. And if you spend $10 or more, you can get gold pack. Since this is my first video about free-to-play games, I'm just going to mention a little bit about my feeling on it. I don't like pay to win, where a new player that just wants to try games out gets stopped by people that have paid to win. And you've got lots of different ways games will try and solve that problem by either only putting people against others that are similar in power, or you know, different methods. This one, I don't think probably does a great job of that. But the other thing about free-to-play games is if you like a game, I'm in favor of throwing a little bit of money at it. You know, I don't plan on probably playing this one forever. I like to unlock some cards, build a couple, you know, decks, test everything out, but I don't see me playing this long term. Other games, like I've been playing Crossout, which is a build your own vehicle, send it into online matches type of free-for-all game, or team-based actually, and that one I've put a little bit of money into just because I wanted to support the developers, and I don't have a problem with paying a little bit of money. I don't need everything to be just free. But I've had a lot of fun with this game as just a free-to-play. One other thing that will make it a little bit easier is to unlock and level up these cards is you get these silver bricks. I don't know if any of these even have names, but when you finish matches and when you unlock cards, or when you upgrade cards, you'll get a certain number of those. And those are used to then upgrade your existing cards. So if I go into crafting, I've got 69, I just spent a bunch, so I don't probably have anything I can buy with it, but like I could upgrade this surf. So that's a way of using your playtime to upgrade stuff that you want without having to randomly find it in card packs. So I don't think it's that bad of a model actually, and like I said, I enjoy the game. So let me just go into a match here. I'll maybe play a match of each faction just to show you how the game goes. So I'll try master level with these guys since they're my best, or at least my favorite. So if you go first, you start with no basic or no starting money. If you go second, you start with 2 coins, and then you have a normal hand size of 4 cards, but you normally only draw 3 per turn, I believe. So take my coins, and then I've got these 4 cards I can buy with my coins at this point. Other things, you start with 10 coins in your deck. You saw I played my one that's an advanced coin, although all it does is give a coin just like any other one, and then it has a chance of turning into a better coin. It didn't proc this time, but 20 life. You can heal in this game. There's actually 4 different resources you can get. There's coins, there's hearts, which are I think they might be called food in this, and those can be used to heal your own allies, they call them, your creature cards, or yourself. And sometimes you'll even have cards that are powered up by them. Then you've got skulls, which skulls you can use to attack enemy creatures or the enemy master. So and that counts as an attack from your character, because there are some things that will retaliate, so just be aware. And then the last one is kind of a energy source. It's this purple symbol that you can see my character when I play an incantation, which is one of the types of cards I have, I get a bonus one of those. So use coins basically to buy stuff. These energy symbols are kind of wild. They can be used as in place of a coin to buy things. They can be used to heal, and they can be used to do damage. So they're pretty nice to have. Alright, so I'll look at the cards that I've got available. So I got these Gilded Warriors. Cost me 4 coins, and you'll notice there wasn't a lot of like help menu and how any of this stuff works. So you learn a little bit of it going through the tutorial, but the tutorial really you're just playing those Vespitole people or that faction. So you don't get a great feeling for what some of these other powers are. But these guys, for instance, on hold, meaning when I hold them in my hand, they permanently get a new star. And in the top left of their card, you can see there that they start with 1 star and they can get up to 5. At that point, they're maxed out. Next, 1 heart per star. So they have 1 health per star they have. So if you hold them in your hand and they gain more stars, they're going to have more life. And then their last ability on turn, meaning at the beginning of each of my turns, for each star I have, it will attack once. So they can end up being a 5 life guy that does 5 damage per turn, and they only cost me 4 coins to buy them. That is a great deal, but it does take me some time to get them up that high. Now, there are some cards that will speed up the process, that will give you those stars. I don't have any in my current options, but I do have at least 1 in my deck. Also, that heart at the bottom, the larger heart at the bottom of the card, is just its life, so it starts with 1. The Yarakeen, this is one of my kind of end-game cards in this deck. So it costs 8, it's pretty expensive, but not terribly expensive. And every turn it's in my hand, it gets 2 of those stars. On my turn, it attacks once per star, so you can see it's going to have a pretty high attack pretty quickly. It can't be killed, meaning even if the opponent does 5 damage to it, it gets inactivated essentially, but it stays on the board, and all I have to do is put at least 1 heart into it and it'll be active again. So that's pretty powerful. You don't have to worry about it going into your deck and redrawing it. The Golem, so he's kind of a defensive guy. 7 coins, maximum of 3 stars. He starts with 1. Each turn he heals himself 1 point for every star you have. And he has intercepts. So as long as he has life, he will intercept incoming attacks unless they ignore intercept, which there's a small number of cards that do. And similar to the Yarakeen, he can't be killed. So even if they do the 5 damage to knock him out, he'll sit out there, and then at the beginning of my turn, he'll heal himself. So he's one of the best defenders that I definitely have in this deck. Zamgazar here, he's only 5 coins, he's fairly cheap. He can get up to 4 stars, and each star will give him a life and an attack. So he's kind of like the Gilded Warriors in that he grows. The difference is, or one of the differences, Zamzagar here, I can't just hold him in my hand for him to get stronger. I have to either have one of those other cards that adds stars to him, or I can feed him 4 hearts from myself. So basically losing my master's health to power him up. but they are permanent stars, so once he's powered up, even if they kill him and he goes into my deck and I draw him again later, he'll still be at that 4-star power. Alright, so I got 6 points. I could pull him out, power him up, and he'd be pretty strong, hitting fast, but that's pretty risky, because it would take a lot of, to max him out, it takes 12 life. I only have 20 to begin with, and I'm not doing anything to generate more. So I'm going to start with just the Gilded Warriors. Fairly cheap. They can start powering up. Alright, use my coins. I got this Argorith flower. This one, it powers up. It doesn't get more life, unfortunately, but each turn when it's in play, it'll generate 1 of that purple energy per star. So that's a big deal, but it's very easy for him to kill him. This 1 purple energy that they have would kill it if I put it out there, and the computer would do that, because he can't be, it's basically give up 1 energy to stop me from getting, at this point it would be 2, but maxed out it would be 4. That's 4 energy a turn is pretty daunting to play against. So here's that special card I've got. Special coin. It generates 1 coin and has a 38 chance to replace it with a random other epic coin. And it just did. Unfortunately, I can't see what it was. I think that was the one that every time I play it, there's like a 15% chance that it'll throw a Viking Berserker out there, which is nice, and it's just otherwise it's just like a normal coin. So alright, so I've got this Halting Rebuke, which is another intercept card similar to the Golem, but this one, as it's in my hand, it just grows. I also bought these Gilded Scribes. They're the ones that they're maxed out now at 3 stars, and every turn they're going to give me 3 more stars randomly distributed amongst my other cards. So now that I've got a Defender, those guys are maxed out, my Gilded Warriors are maxed out, and my Flowers maxed out. I'm going to play all of them down, and this Halting Rebuke was an incantation card. I think that's this hand symbol here. So I got a free energy for playing that. With that coin and energy, I'm going to take this Behold the Veil. This one, it just grows in stars up to 20, and when I play it, for each star it has, it's going to give me an energy. So that's another fairly game-changing card if I take the time to let it build up. But the Gilded Scribes, they'll actually give stars to things in my hand in addition to the ones in play. So right now, I'll be in 3 stars, and they'll either be going to Halting Rebuke or Behold the Veil. And probably what I'll do is, once I get enough points or enough coins between myself and Behold the Veil, I'll summon that Yarkeen, and it'll hopefully finish off my foe. So yeah, here's this new coin that I got. 15% chance to summon a Berserker, missing any. So here we go. Oh, and yeah, I got 4 energy from my flower. So I'll cast Behold the Veil, bring in the Yarkeen, and I've got 4 more energy. I'm gonna work on them. So what we saw there was they had a Halting Rebuke of their own. I sent in a Skull to do a damage to the warrior, but their Halting Rebuke had an intercept, so it blocked that. It only had 1 star left though, so theirs is gone. Whereas if he was attacking me, he'd have to attack 3 times before he even got through my rebuke. So then I've got 2 more, and I'll kill one of their guys. I'll save this other energy because I could hit this guy, but it's not going to kill him. In turn. So I think it's a fun game, and the nice thing, unfortunately, I'm playing against another Endazu opponent, so our decks are, I mean, actually their deck is fairly different, and they have a different leader, so their special ability is different. They can feed anima, which is one of their types of cards. I think it may be the kind that these green people, I'm not sure which one it is. Feeding it gets a permanent star, which would be nice. I don't have, I haven't unlocked any other heroes, so there's the 4 factions. You start with 1 hero in each faction, and I think there are 3 to unlock for each one. So, and each of them have a different ability. That's the only thing that's different about them, and the look is different. Art style wise, while I'm talking about look, I think the game's okay. It's not the best art, but it fits well, and each of the factions is very distinct in the way they look. These guys are kind of your they kind of look maybe like wizards and kind of necromancers. They have lots of undead in their armies and golems and stuff like that. I'm gonna play this Yarkeen and buy another one. The Vespitoles are kind of a medieval society, pretty basic looking. The Metris are very roguey like. So I played 1 game, I got 150 coins and 10 of these blocks they use to upgrade guys. So 150 coins, that's 1.5 packs, and matches don't take very long, so you can play through pretty quick. You've got quests in this too. Win 3 German games in a row, got me 300. Beat Chapter 12 on Neophyte campaign. Give me 1,000 coins. Opening just a bunch of packs will give me another 500. And you can replace like 1 per day. Plus, each one you finish, the first one you finish will get you an oak pack. That's what I opened earlier. Second one will get you silver. Third one will get you gold. Every day, just coming in and clicking, you can get 250 coins. And then after 7 days of that, you get one of these gems that's used to open those epic packs. So, one thing I thought was kind of interesting, this game allows you to change the reset time of when these things change. So I haven't done it. I assume if I change it to an hour from now, it's not going to reset this one. It'll wait probably another 24 hours after that, because I'm bumping the time up. But maybe if it's broken, you could do that. I just thought that was interesting. If I'm always going to play this when I get home from work at 7 o'clock. You could set it to reset at 6. I've just never seen that in a game before, so I thought it was interesting. Alright, so that was Endazu. Let's see, I'll play Vespitole, though I'm going to go in and edit my deck because I don't really like what I've got here. So editing your deck is pretty easy. Each faction has 4 different types of cards plus coins. So they're really all fairly, you can use any. I can make a deck of all war and not any of these other ones, but there are some cards that will say, I don't know if there are any in this group. But there will be some cards that'll say, on play, draw a war card, something like that. So the different types of cards within a faction can have a little bit of influence. Alright, so I'm going to build a deck with some high point cards, but then a lot of cards to generate money. And do I want any defensive guys? So the Vespitole, they got kind of power, which are a lot of your like attack your opponent, generate lots of stuff. Like my tribute card here lets me generate one of each resource type every time I draw it, plus draw a new card. Prosperity is mostly around coins and food. Oh, and one other thing I'll mention, if you've got upgraded cards, so see, I put this Wealthy Patron in my deck, and I have the Wealthy Patron fully upgraded, so it costs me only 4 coins. If I really wanted lots of Wealthy Patrons to show up, I could add the level 2 version and the level 1 version, but they're at their old costs. So I'll end up seeing it in my cards to buy Wealthy Patrons that cost me 4, 5, 6. I'm not going to do that, but I thought that was an interesting way to handle duplicate cards. Alright, let's see, I did put a Coruscant in, and I have one collect taxes, put a prayer in, I've got my one special coin. You can see there's quite a few different special coins that you can unlock, and none of them that I've seen have been like game changing. They're rare, they have a lot of rarity, so that's why I've only found 2. And this one, actually I don't remember if I found this or if I got this for downloading through Steam or something. Gain 2 coins, but you have to pay it back over 2 turns, so it's pulling your money forward a bit, but you net no extra coins. So I didn't play with that one, although I could put it in this deck because I did put some high. I'm gonna try it. I've never actually played with it. Alright, one last card. I could put in Bargo. That'll take, it doesn't take their it takes a resource from them, but it doesn't steal it. I wish it did. The Merchant Guild's pretty good. The Spice Clipper that you can put out, so at the beginning of your turn, as long as you've got the Merchant Guild out there, which he only lasts 3 turns, he will pull out a Spice Clipper bolt, which has 2 life. Every turn it generates a food, and if it's attacked, it will retaliate. So it's a good one, but I've got a lot of high point stuff already. I think I may just throw in a cheap militia to soak up some damage. Alright, give these guys a go. We'll try Master. I don't know how this will work. This deck isn't necessarily that powerful. Alright, so guy and he procced right away. So that's a good start. Interesting. So this coin, when I played it, it put like a proxy out there showing that it's going to drain my money for 2 turns. But I could still redraw that. So that's actually interesting. Oh, one thing, it doesn't matter too much for the other factions. Well, it actually does, but if you've played very many deck builders, you normally buy a card and it goes into like your discard pile. And then once your draw pile is finished, you will shuffle your discard pile into a new draw pile. This game, you don't have a discard pile, you just have a draw pile. So every card that you would discard, well, first off, when you buy a card, it goes into play. It goes into your hand or into the playing field. When you discard it, it gets shuffled into the deck. So these guys that cycle cards can really have a big turn if they keep playing, you know, these like action cards that don't go into play, they just go back into the deck. You can just keep drawing the same cards in the same turn. Seems overly powerful, but their cards for their costs are weaker than the other factions, I would say. Let's see, occasionally you get a turn like that where I just kept drawing my prayers and ended up with a big turn. One thing I found about playing single player is the computer is they don't play a lot of creatures down. They play lots of other cards, and unless you're playing against the red faction, and it's almost like it's a pretty passive play style. They do try to kill, I mean, they kill your creatures if they can, but I haven't found the need to put a lot of stuff to like kill opponents' creatures in my decks. Prayer, coins. I'm just gonna kill their serf. When I play these guys, I'm tempted to almost always buy stuff when I can, because they're going to cycle a new card, and even though like saving up for this bounty could result in a big hit on the opponent, long term it just seems more beneficial to buy things when you can. Alright. Could use those to use food to heal myself. But oh wait, these malediction cards that they have are a pain. They basically have all your guys attack, or no, they attack once per enemy, so they end up just killing all your guys. Prayer, patron. So here's one of these big turns, and I actually don't generate a ton of money yet to use bounties, so I'm going to go with cards that generate more. Now I'm looking pretty good. now whether I have wealthy patrons or courtesans or militia, I have lots of ways to attack. And you can go negative in resources. So like I'll probably start this next turn at -2 or -1. So you can't game the system like that. So I find this game pretty fun for just a sit by and so what happened when I used that? I spent the money, I didn't play it, I guess. I've never actually used that oh shit. He's almost gonna beat me here. Gotta watch your life, because occasionally the computer will build up attack and just swamp you like that. You do get a little bit of experience and money if you lose, but not much. Alright, I'll maybe save Daramek and Metris for a second video. This one's getting kind of long. So again, this has been Valharik, testing out War of Omens for you guys. I like it. I don't think I'll probably play it for real long, but it's free to play. I recommend just trying it out, even if you just get a little, few hours of play in. Maybe you like it, maybe you don't. This is my first video. Welcome to the channel. If you liked it, give me a like, subscribe. I plan on putting out lots of videos. In fact, I'll probably have a bunch more videos before I even make them all public, so there should be plenty for you to take a look at. I play a lot of strategy and RPGs. I don't know if I'll do long Let's Plays of RPGs, but I'll potentially do some gameplay. Mainly I'm looking to inform people, especially some of these like lesser known games. Before I dive into a game, I like to take a look and see what other people think of it. So I figured I'd just do a little bit of that. Alright, talk to you guys later.